So what really makes a great fly rod? I mean, it's way more than just a sticky wave around, right? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the design philosophy behind today's high-performance fly rods. And our guide on this journey is an absolute industry giant that has sold over 1 million rod blanks, Batson Enterprises. Let's kick things off with this quote from Mike Thorson, who's the VP of Design over at Batson. That one single word, feel. That's basically the North Star for everything we're about to explore. It's the one thing that separates a pretty good rod from a truly great one, and it's the core mission of their entire design process. But to really understand how they achieve that feel, we first need to look at the company itself. This isn't just some other manufacturer churning out rods. Batson is a legacy, and it's built on an obsession with quality that goes back generations. And this quote from the CEO, Bill Batson, really gets to the heart of it. This is a family-run, passion-driven operation. For them, this isn't just a job, it's their identity. It's who they are. And that passion, it translates directly into the quality of every single thing they make. And believe me, that commitment has had a massive impact. Think about this. They've sold over 1 million rain shadow rod blanks. Now, that number isn't just about sales. It represents a huge amount of on-the-water research, development, and just relentless refinement. Okay, so to really appreciate their standards, you got to understand how the industry grades its products. Not all rod blanks are created equal, not by a long shot. They basically fall into these tiers. You've got your perfect blank quality first runs, then rod quality, then seconds, which have little cosmetic flaws, and finally, trash, the ones that get broken and thrown out. And this is where Batson's standard is so different. It's simple, but it's incredibly high. They only sell blank quality. That's it. No seconds, no rods with cosmetic flaws. If a blank isn't absolutely perfect, it does not get the rain shadow name, period. All right, so with that foundation of quality in mind, let's move on and see how that obsession translates into the engineering itself. This is where we get into the soul of the rod, the design that actually creates that perfect cast. At the heart of their design is this concept called progressive taper. So what the heck does that mean? Well, think of it like this. The rod is smart. It actually bends deeper as you apply more power. This lets it adapt effortlessly, whether you're making a short, delicate cast or launching a long-distance bomb. And look, this philosophy isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. A 5-weight for trout needs to load up real quick for those close-in casts. But an 8-weight, let's say for redfish, that's designed to be faster and way more powerful to punch that line through the wind. It's the same principle, just a different application. Okay, so you might be thinking, if the design philosophy is pretty consistent, what are you actually paying for when you buy a more expensive rod? That's the key question, right? Well, the difference really comes down to the materials. As you move up the line from their Unity series to the Revelation and then up to the flagship Eternity, the graphite itself gets more and more advanced. And what does that mean for you? Well, the blank gets lighter, it recovers from the castaway quicker, and it has more power to lift line off the water. Bottom line, better materials just equal better performance. Now let's talk about something that most people honestly just ignore, but it is absolutely critical. The joints where the rod pieces connect. They're called ferrules. For years and years, ferrules were kind of a necessary evil. They were this hidden performance killer in any multi-piece rod, creating this stiff, dead spot in what should be a smooth-bending blank. It was a problem that, for a long time, everybody just kind of accepted. And you can literally see the difference in the cast. Those old clunky ferrules created this bounce in your casting loop, which just robs you of accuracy and distance. But Batson's modern slim ferrule technology, it totally eliminates that flat spot, creating this beautiful, smooth, powerful loop. It's a total game changer, for real. You know, this focus on every single detail, it's all part of this bigger story of technological evolution. So let's take a look at how their materials have advanced over time to get them where they are today. You can see this really clear progression here. They started with RX6, which was a standard graphite. Then they moved to a blended material with RX7, and then to high modulus with RX8. Essentially, high modulus is just a fancy way of saying the material is stiffer and lighter, which means more performance. And now they've reached the next generation, RX10. Every step was a major leap forward. And that brings us to the culmination of all this work, the brand new flagship, the Eternity RX10 series. This is where all those years of innovation really come together and pay off. So what's the big deal? What makes it their flagship? Well, we're talking about that next-gen high-modulus graphite. It gives the rod an extra fast action while, and this is the key, remaining incredibly light and sensitive. And this wasn't rushed. It took a year and a half of development using new proprietary fibers to get it just right. And this technology is all tailored for specific targets. You've got everything from a 9'5" weight that's perfect for delicate trout presentations, all the way up to a 9'10" weight that has the backbone to battle tarpon and king salmon. It's elite performance with a purpose. And this brings us right back to where we started. As Mike Thorson puts it, with the Eternity, they feel they've achieved the holy grail of fly rod design. A powerful, fast-action rod that doesn't sacrifice that all-important feel. So, that leaves us with a final thought. From the material science and the taper design, right down to the tiniest detail of a ferrule, a modern fly rod is the result of thousands of tiny decisions. So hopefully, the next time you pick one up, you'll have a much deeper appreciation for all the art and all the science that went into it.